What is going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it is time to do another couple episodes of Young Justice. That's right, that quick, because there are no chapters this week. So we got episode 22, Agendas. This was another phenomenal episode of the series. I wouldn't put it on 11 out of 10 status, but this was another really good one. We got Superboy, we got Lex Luthor, we got Cadmus, we got Justice League debating amongst themselves, all of which is great, all of which gives really good information and characterization. I guess I'll talk about the Justice League stuff because it's like the simplest thing. Actually, no, before that I want to mention something from the previous review because I was stupid, okay? One of you guys in the comments, you called me on it. I was completely ignorant to the fact that Beast Boy just got set up. Because I knew, because my familiarity with Beast Boy is pretty much the original Teen Titans show from like 2005. And I don't recall them ever saying his secret identity name, so I just knew him as Beast Boy. I don't think they said any of their secret identity names in that show. So, yeah, I knew him as Beast Boy. And then I watched Justice League vs. Teen Titans, the animated movie that came out recently. And if you haven't seen it, it's a misleading title. I won't say they don't fight, but it's still misleading. And they do call him Garfield. And so I knew the name Garfield, and I saw this kid, and his name was Garfield, but I didn't catch the last name in either the Teen Titans, movie with the Justice League, or in this. I was just kind of, oh, his name's Garfield, that sounds familiar. It didn't click with me, and then she gives him the DNA, and his eyes turn green, and it's so obvious, and with the shape-shifting ability, it makes so much sense with the blood and all that shit, but I just didn't put two and two together. But yeah, that was really good setup. I like that. Hopefully he does something. Hopefully that wasn't a Season 3 thing. Don't tell me in the comment section below. I want to be surprised. But yeah, so hopefully that's not a Season 3 thing. Hopefully I get to see him in Season 2 do something. But yeah, don't tell me. I would rather be surprised. And yeah, so I was kind of dumb on that one. But anyways, so this episode, the Justice League debating on who should join the team. I thought this was really cool. The beginning gives a lot of weight. Like, you see the Watchtower, I believe for the first time, and then they're there, and they're like, what we're about to do. Like, you see the Trinity. You see Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. Already better than Batman vs. Superman, the movie, within like 10 seconds. And they're debating something, and they're like, this will change, like everything. It's like this big hype before the opening credits. Then they all sit down and they're going to decide who joins the team. And it started off a little comedic, Some of the girls are like, we need more girls on the team. And the Green Lanterns are like, hey, we have this other Green Lantern. They're like, no. They just say it simultaneously. So it starts off kind of funny. But then they really start debating, like, should Shazam stay on the team since he's really a kid? We can't bring in the Young Justice team. They're still too young. They're talking about how, Superboy's only been alive for about a year, so do we have to wait another 17 to bring him on? I believe Black Canary was the one who called Batman on bringing Robin into crime fighting at 9 years old. And I believe Black Canary also said she used to be a school teacher, so I think that's a really nice detail there that you might not pick up on unless you're really paying attention. But, she used to work with kids, so I thought that was a really nice detail. And, Batman obviously says, I didn't want Robin to end up like me. And, that's really cool. So all they're debating and shit, and they cast their vote for who they think should join or leave. They have all the candidates up on the board. It's really cool. We don't know who they picked. I was hoping it was going to end with seeing who they picked, but it didn't. But still, I really enjoyed that aspect of the episode. It was really awesome seeing the different ideologies and the arguments they were having. Not even really arguments, but just like debates, which I guess is the same thing, but debates just a more polite version of an argument, I guess. Next up, Superboy. Okay, so we got Bizarro Superboy. I pretty much have to call him that because he burned the S onto his chest in reverse, and he has like the weird eyes, so I'm calling him Bizarro Superboy, or just Bizarro, whatever. Their fights were cool, just from like a pure like entertainment standpoint. But Lex Luthor, of course, he manipulates Superboy, because, see, Superboy shows up, and he's like, I don't want anything to do with you. That's smart. That's smart, Superboy. But then he probably thinks to himself, wait a minute, I can get in there if Lex Luthor, I can fucking, I'll use Lex Luthor to my advantage. Don't ever think that. Don't, because if you think you're going to use Lex Luthor to your advantage, he is already using you to his advantage. Because this is a true blue Lex Luthor. Not that weird Joker shit from fucking Jesse Eisenberg in Batman vs. Superman. Fuck, I ripped on Batman vs. Superman twice. shit. Let's see, third time's a charm. Let's try one more within this review. So, Lex Luthor manipulates him, gets him in there. He finds out about the Bizarro Superboy. They get into a fight. We find out about this little genomorph city because the one dude is like bringing them down into this cavern so that they can kind of thrive. And then also, I'm calling bullshit on Guardian, I think that's his name, being Red Arrow's uncle. I'm calling bullshit. They look really similar, and they have like pretty much the same voice unless I'm mistaken. So I'm calling clone. I'm seriously calling clone on that one, but I don't know for sure, so I'm not gonna like say it's confirmed or nothing, but I'm calling clone, because if he had said father, okay, but you're his uncle and you guys look identical with like almost the same voice, bullshit. Bullshit. Especially when you're in the fucking Cadmus building where they make clones. Yeah, fuck you, dude. No way, but regardless, I mean, that doesn't explain why he's so much bigger than Red Arrow, unless Red Arrow's the clone, which would be kind of interesting. But yeah, so and then Superboy also gets these, in terms of like a combat evolution, he gets these shields from Lex Luthor that he puts them on, he gets stronger, he gets full Kryptonian capabilities for about an hour, so that's really cool. But yeah, we get good characterization on Superboy. He's very gung-ho on freedom and liberating this other super clone, and pretty much freeing anybody who's stuck in Cadmus, but he realizes what the proper thing to do is, because this dude's out of control, just to put him back on ice. And of course Lex Luthor wanted to fucking just find his assets and shit, but we also get the ending where Superboy tries to attack Lex Luthor and he just says a couple words and Superboy is like fucking vegetable state for like a few hours while Lex Luthor fucking gets the hell out of there. Like, it was getting dark, kind of like an overcast. And then when Superboy, like, flashes back to fucking reality, he's fucking, it's like the middle of the night, he still has Lex Luthor's tie in his hand. He got shut down completely, and he even says, if he can shut me down with a few words, what else can he make me do? That's super, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but that Superboy mole theory is looking pretty good right now. I'm just saying. I'm just fucking saying. Now, I don't mean to be cocky, because I could still be wrong and then have it fucking shoved in my face, but for now, it's looking pretty good, looking pretty pristine, but yeah, this was a really, really good episode. That ending, you know, with almost confirmation that Superboy is the mole without even realizing it, that's on point. So that's really good. You got good characterization for Superboy, the introduction of, like, Bizarro Superboy. We've got fucking the Justice League. They're going to pick new members. You know, Aqualad, Kid Flash, and Robin. I believe they're all in the running. And that's interesting because they're like the first couple dudes we were introduced to. So if they're in the running for Justice League members and they get picked, then it might cause like a separation between the characters. And we haven't really focused on the whole we're old enough to be superheroes thing in a while. And I didn't really like that plot point at first. Like, I got the point of it, and I'm glad they haven't focused on it. But I feel like that's a nice natural way to sort of bring that idea back into play, if that's what they're going to do. So, this is my last double review of Season 1, because the next one is going to be a triple review. I'll just do the last 3 episodes in one video. Probably going to be at least a 2-part finale, I would assume, for a series like this. So, yeah, I'll do a triple review for the next one. But anyways, moving on to episode 23. Oh yeah, the rating. This was like a 9 out of 10 episode. An amazing episode of Young Justice. Really good animation, really good voice work, really good exposition, really good characterization for the Justice League members as well as Superboy, with other things hinted at and confirmed, and just, it's a really, really good one. So I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Amazing episode. Now we move on to episode 23. I'll just edit this in at some point in the video. Episode 23, I forgot to mention, Spider-Man's back. Even seemingly, I think, was voiced by Josh Keaton, the guy who played Spider-Man in the Spectacular Spider-Man series. Called himself a web slinger, fucking moving around the city the way he was and shit. Like, it was, holy shit. Like, it's fucking Spider-Man. Like, DC has fucking Spider-Man. Is that really, like, you can't sue over that shit? Like, that's crazy. Like, we didn't hear him talk in the last episode, but in this episode, he looks like him. He fights like him. He fucking sounds like him. He even made a couple jokes. It was insane. So, that happened. Anyways, on with the rest of the review. Okay, so episode 23, Insecurities. This was a fantastic episode. Not as good as the last one, but still a really good one. They're setting up the finale really well here because, we're finding out more about Superboy. We're finding out more about Artemis. We find out she comes from a family of villains. Her mom used to be Huntress, her dad is Sportsmaster, and her sister is Cheshire, and that's why she doesn't want anyone to find out, is because she doesn't want them to mistrust her. And after the stunt she pulled in this episode, she doesn't seem very trustworthy at the moment. And Red Arrow joins the team, so there's good progression there. Even though I don't think he'll stay personally, but maybe, I don't know. I doubt it though. He just doesn't seem like a fit. And then having two archers doesn't seem necessary. And we know Artemis isn't a traitor, so yeah. At this point, I don't see him staying, but it's cool that he is there for now. It's good for the story. She needs to just say what she needs to say about her family, because doing the shit she's doing and keeping the secrets and the lies, it's not making her look good. Aqualad's a pretty logical guy, but if you come to him with this after the shit you pulled, he might still be suspicious. So it's just, it's good for the drama, but she really does need to just buck up and say what she needs to say. But other than finding out that, getting characterization on her, getting Red Arrow joining the team, all that stuff's great. We also get really good action sequences, voice acting, all that stuff's perfectly fine. Everything's good. More Illuminati shit. They're like mixing science and fucking magic on this tentacle thing to create probably some super crazy monster. And it's looking real good. It's looking like the finale's going to be really good. They're setting it up really nicely. Definitely by the time we get through these next 3 episodes, there's got to be something with Artemis and her family being revealed to the team. Something with Superboy being the mole, possibly. All that stuff's got to, come into play. I don't know what else will come into play. I'm trying to think, because, that's Artemis and that's Superboy. I'm trying to think about the other characters. Robin's leadership has been talked about a lot. Aqualad wants to pass it on to him. Robin was a leader at one point. We had the therapy session where he's like, I don't want to be Batman anymore, or be like Batman anymore. And then in the last episode, we actually had Batman was like, I don't want him to be like me. So, yeah, that's cool. There's a little bit of development with Robin. I don't know if that's leading into the finale or anything, but some development with Robin, Kid Flash, and Artemis. They're definitely a lot closer than they were before. You can see that in this episode, even though Kid Flash got pretty pissed at her in the end. Which, is the right thing to do, even though she didn't, try to make Red Arrow look bad. She didn't want to just take the bad guy down by herself. She wasn't feeling insecure. She was feeling insecure for sure, but she also wanted to face her sister one-on-one, but of course she couldn't say that, She does need to just say a few words to fix all of this, but at the same time, she doesn't know if it will fix it because they could not trust her. So it's interesting. I like seeing Wally be like the voice of reason in this episode when he's like, okay, stop shifting blames and let's just do this. That was really interesting because Wally's usually the jokester, but when he gets serious, he knows when to get serious, which is one thing I like about his character. And I've grown to like him a lot more over time, especially since that Cold-Hearted episode. I really liked him in that one. So yeah, and of course I never hated him. Feel like I need to stress that because you just say, oh, a character's okay. Sometimes people think like, oh, you don't like it, There's always the two extremes when it comes to the internet. But anyways, regardless of just rambling, this was a really, really solid episode with really good characterization, really good reveals. Everything is getting nicely set up and put in place for the finale of the first season. And I'm assuming that it's probably going to be like a 2-part finale. I said that in the review for 22 also. It's probably going to be a 2-part finale, maybe 3. I don't know. It's Young Justice. I have no fucking clue. This show does crazy shit. Anyways, did I talk about the Red Tornado thing? Because I've had to take like 3 takes on this video, and I've mentioned the Red Tornado thing in the other takes. I don't know if I mentioned it here. If I already mentioned it, whatever. It was a weird little subplot anyway. It wasn't that big of a deal, but still, I'm getting all confused on what I have and haven't said in these like 3 takes it's taken to get this review done. But regardless, I'll just wrap it up. If I didn't mention the Red Arrow, if I didn't mention the Red Tornado thing, it was kind of a filler subplot to give the other characters something to do and to fill up some screen time. It was kind of funny, especially the wolf part. Maybe I already said that. Anyways, I'm going to give this episode a solid 8.5 out of 10. I thought it was a great episode of Young Justice. Not quite as good as the last episode, but really close. Well, maybe not really close, because the last episode I really, really enjoyed, but this one is still pretty close to the other episode that I reviewed. So, I'll just wrap up. What did you guys think of these episodes of Young Justice? You guys can tell me in the comment section below. Follow me on Instagram or add me on PSN. I'm petplatypus on both. You can give this video a thumbs up and share it on social media. Both those would help me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already or if you like what you've seen here, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.